So this is my presentation on how to scale to 7 figures. If you're currently running like a 5 to 6 figure brand right now, like a year, this is what you're gonna be using to scale to 7 figures. And I'm gonna go through some topics on how to actually get to these high run rates. Common myths, first of all, with scaling to 7 figures. A lot of people think you're just spending more on ads, and it's not the case at all. A lot of people think you're just trying to lower your cost of goods. Like, I'm selling my product for $4, let's get it down to $3.50. That's not gonna take you to 7 figures. And also people have the misconception, I need to go on omni-channel, which basically means I need to go Facebook or different sales. Like maybe I'll go on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube Shorts, and try to spread my content around. That's not how you're getting to 7 figures, at least not how I teach it. But who am I? I'm like a random guy. You guys do not know me at all. My name is Fred Sanders. I've scaled 3 of my own businesses to 7 figures in the last 1.5 years. So including Muscle Max, which some of you may have seen, I've had over 1.5 billion views on this one brand alone. I want to play a video and just to see if anyone's ever seen this brand, this video.
Yo, that's 225 clean, bro. Always doing pull-ups. Hey, bro, excuse me. Hey, man, I got this.
Raise your hand if you've seen that brand. Okay, we have a lot of people. I'm glad. I thought it was gonna be nobody, but you know, that one brand right there generated me around $3 million in revenue, and that's all organic. So profit margins are pretty good. So that's who Fred Sanders is, right? That was my old brand. Right now, I just started a new brand. I don't know if you guys heard, but in the lobby, we're in a lot of cha-chings, a lot of Shopify. That brand is on 200K, almost its first month we just launched. So it's doing really, really good. And that's the first brand right there. So that's who I am. 3 things that are gonna make you profitable and take you to 7 figures. These are the topics we're gonna be talking about today. This is in order, by the way. This is least, this is greatest. We wanna extract more from the existing customers we already have. And then we're gonna focus on converting the traffic that we're getting to our store into actual buying customers, loyal customers. And then the last thing, which most people think, oh, 7-figure store, I need to scale more, I need more viewers on my online store, is actually, in my opinion, the least thing you actually need is generating more traffic. So let's talk about these into a bit. I didn't make that very, very clear. The first one we're gonna do is extracting more from your customers. So things, how you do that is boosting your AOV. We're doing things you've already heard of, quantity discounts, post-purchase upsells, free shipping unlocks, and the Catalyst backend system. I'll go into this a little bit in depth in case nobody really knows. Quantity discounts means someone buys 2 instead of 1 product, or 3 for 15% off. People are very, very familiar with this. Post-purchase upsells work really great. After they already purchased, it's very simple to get them to buy another one because their card is already in the system. So they just click 1 button, they buy another product. Very simple. Free shipping unlocks, something people do not do. I don't know why. It's free money on the table. If you don't like money, don't do that. But if you do like money, free shipping unlocks. A good site that I would pull up actually, because I can, it's a brand called Take Shots. They have their site on lock. And they have free shipping unlocks on there as well. You see very, very branded product right here. They're selling a straw. It's a very, very cheap straw, but they're making 300, 400K a month. I've Dropshop dioed them. This is before they get on TikTok shops. They're probably at like $1 million. But look at their cart. So we add it to cart. This is an example of a free shipping unlock. So instead of just giving their customer free shipping for a $20 product, they're gonna charge $8 shipping for this product. You have to buy a certain amount of products to even unlock it. For some reason, it's like a game to these customers. They're like, oh, $60 more, let me try to spend $60 to get free shipping. They're just spending more money, but they want to do that. So if you're not leveraging free shipping unlocks in your brand, trust me, you're missing out on a lot. Like that right there will probably boost your AOV up by at least 15%, and that's being modest, very, very modest. The Catalyst backend system, we'll get into that a little bit further down the line. This one's also very, very huge. Boosting your LTV. I wanna go around and ask people what their LTV is, but I don't even really need to, because this is something that is universally that I see. Go on Amazon, you search up what their average customer lifetime value is. It's sitting at around $2,300. Now what this means, every time they get 1 customer, they spend $2,300 with that brand. Your store is around $40. You can only get your customers to buy from you 1 time. Now you see the discrepancy here. You see why you're missing out on so much money. You see why brands like Amazon, big brands like Nike can spend millions of dollars on a Super Bowl ad. You don't think why would you, the conversion rate's not that good. If they get 1 customer, they get $2,300. That's a lot of profit. So How do you boost your LTV? This just boils down to good overall customer experience, things like a good product packaging. Do you have a good product? Does your customer even like the product that they bought from you, right? Other things you can do is email, SMS, retargeting is what I like to do after your customer buys from you. You want to be able to retarget and reach back out to them. Hey, did you enjoy the product? Hey, would you like to buy another one for 15% on us? Customers are they're gonna bite that. They like the product. If they actually like the customer experience, they're gonna bite for this and do it again. And packaging inserts do the same thing. Put a little packaging insert. People do not leverage packaging inserts for some reason. I don't know why. Put that like 15% share to a friend and we'll give them 15% off. Or hey, we'll give you $10 every one you sell. That's something I'm doing for my brand. Right there, I'll give you all that free sauce. So boost your LTV. If you're not doing that, you need to be doing that. So this is the next topic. Converting cold traffic to actual buying customers. Second least, the first one we talked about, that's the biggest. That one probably alone could get you to 7 figures. This one right here is called converting cold traffic to buying customers. The topics on this is establishing your brand. This means messages, your brand message, values, and leveraging similar audience, influencers, and then building the customer trust. We're gonna talk a little bit more into that as well. So establishing your brand message. My thing, I'm very, very good at branding. So this is 100% up my alley. These 4 things right there will be your A to Z platform on how to establish your brand. When you're establishing your brand, does your customer be able to, are they thinking like, oh, this is a selfish brand, or does it actually help people? You don't want to just help yourself. You want to actually do good into the world because they actually see that. If you look at your brand like a child, you don't want your child to grow up like selfish and like, oh, he only wants for himself. You want your child to be giving. And these are the things, those are the people you trust. Do you see what I'm saying? Maybe not your child or a friend of yours, whatever, right? But you want to be able to help people other than yourself. Think of the shoe like Tom's. That's the only reason why they're a big shoe. Every time you buy one shoe, they give another shoe. It's like charity. Like you feel like you're actually helping. That's why you want to shop with this brand, right? How do your customer feel when they actually interact with your brand? That's another one. You want to make them feel something. You want to actually establish your brand values. What is your overall arching goal? A lot of people do not know what their brand message is. They don't know what their customer feels when they click on their website. They don't know what they're even trying to value. What do they see their brand in the future? They don't understand these things. Sit down with yourself and figure that out for your brand when you start your brand. Then focus on your marketing website and make sure that it's appealing to your target audience. Doing things like making sure your color scheme is right for your target audience. Red is really good for people who like food. There's science to this, right? Everything is science, everything is psychology. So when you're going and finding your target audience, if you haven't found your target audience, sit down with yourself and figure out, okay, like I'm selling a makeup brand. Most likely women, 2025 are buying this. They're probably in school or insecure how they look. That's why they want to do our eyebrow liner. Figure out your target audience and figure out what website is going to buy from them. Once you figure out those 3 things, leverage the influencers with parallel audiences. Now you don't have to do the Kim K's, but if you do the Kim K's, your brand's going to make millions and millions of dollars. Of course, it might cost $1 million up front, but that's going to continuously pay itself. Imagine Kim K is on your product page. Your conversion rate's at a 12, 15%. They're going to continuously buy from you. Like I said, you can go even smaller influencers. People are just, it's psychology. It's so very simple. Like they want to feel a connection. These people like this, they already feel a connection with. So take their personal brand and leverage them and attach it to your brand. Nike does a very, very good job on this. You look at Nike, LeBron's wearing Nike shoes, and now you see a pair of Nikes, you think LeBron, I like LeBron, I want to buy Nikes. That's another example of that. So that's establishing your brand message. Now, generating more traffic, this is the least one. I want to talk about this. I didn't want to leave it out because obviously at a scale, you need to generate more traffic, but the other 2 would get you to 7 figures if you already have good streamlined traffic and you have a good conversion rate as long as your AOV. So when you're generating more traffic, you need to be boosting your AOV, conversion rate, recovery, recapture. These things are all things I talked about. Recovery is basically your abandoned cart, making sure that you're recovering these abandoned cart leads. Recapture, that's the thing we talked about, making sure they're buying again. The email, SMS, packaging inserts, and you should be able to spend more on your ads without lowering your ROAS. Now, if you look at Facebook, a lot of people scale up their Facebook ads and their ROAS immediately drops. Does anyone do Facebook ads here? No? Okay, no one does Facebook ads. When you do scale your Facebook ads, you spend like $50 a day, you bump that up to $500 a day or $5,000 a day, your ROAS is gonna drop from like a 3 to like a 2 or a 1. And people think, oh, it's just Facebook. That's just Facebook's way of spending. It's optimizing, re-optimizing, or that's just kind of how it is. It's because you don't have proper AOV and your conversion rate is not optimized. When you optimize these things, your ROAS will not drop, which means you can bump up to $5,000 a day and be making the same amount of money. That's where the Catalyst backend system comes in. Wasn't gonna do this entire presentation without shamelessly plugging my backend system that I created for this exact method. It's called Help Boost and Enhance Your AOV, your conversion rate, your recovery, and your recapture. That's what we specialize in. I spent the last few years developing the Catalyst backend system for that. We'll talk more on that. Generating traffic, 20-80 rule with your content, and then making sure you're getting quality views over quantity. Now let's get more into the 20-80 rule. So 20-80 rule with generating content. This one right here was Muscle Max's downfall. If I'm gonna be 100% honest, we had 1.5 billion views. And notice I said it was a 3 million brand evaluation. That should have been like 50 to 100 million or 1.5 billion views. I didn't capitalize on the 20-80 rule. 20% of the work is giving you 80% of your results. So when you're doing one product, let's say you have a general store, it's posting 10 products. One of those products is giving you most of the sales. If you're posting on TikTok, Instagram, and Snapchat, one of those social medias is giving you most of your views. If you're posting a lot of creative, let's say you're doing UGC content, you're doing unboxing, you're doing public interviews, one of those styles of content is giving you most of your views. So just double down on these things. Cut out all the excess and double down on what actually works, right? That right there that's just general life sauce, but definitely apply to the brand. Make sure you're double down, figure out what your product, marketing channel, and the creative is working, and then just double down on that as simple as possible. So let's just quickly recap what we went over so far. Need to extract more from your existing customer by boosting AOV and LTV, then convert more traffic to buying customers by building customer trust and establishing your brand. Then when you've boosted your AOV, conversion rate, recovery, and recapture, you can start generating more traffic by focusing on the 20-80 rule. Once you've done these two, then you start focusing on generating more traffic. If you generate more traffic, you're not gonna get more sales. You're gonna spend more money at a lower ROAS, and it's gonna kill your brand. So make sure you dial in your AOV, conversion rate, recovery, and recapture. Hint, hint, cough, cough. The Catalyst backend system will do that for you. So, implement the Catalyst backend system to boost your AOV, conversion rate, recapture, and recovery to start scaling profitably without lowering your ROAS. If you're interested in that system, here's my Instagram. Follow me on Instagram for more information. I just post actual content on there. There's like value. So if you guys like anything I said, follow me on the Instagram. Yeah, it's pretty much that.
Spend another minute explaining what a Catalyst backend system is.
Sure, I would love to. I would love to.
Scale business.
So basically, let's say you're spending $300 on ads for Facebook. We would go in there, we would implement, and we would try to figure out and enhance your conversion rate and your AOV. How we enhance your conversion rate, we build multiple landing pages to see which one works best. A lot of beginners, for some reason, don't ask me why, they'll build one landing page, see it's working well, and they'll make like little slight tweaks, but that'll be the entire brand lifetime's landing page. And they just never try anything else. It's so much money left on the table. My job is to go in, see where your cracks and your leaks are, and fix those. We enhance conversion rates by boosting these landing pages and figuring out where that is. Then all those AOV things we talked about, we'll go and implement that into your brand, upsells, cross sells, down sells, post checkout, and a few other AOV secrets that we do. We'll enhance those, and then recapture and recovery. That's just email, SMS. We have that dialed in on lock. So that's the Catalyst backend system. Hit me up on Instagram if anyone here is, currently scaling,
Thank you. How
Well-
much would we have to be scaling for it to be like worth it? How much would we be making? Now I need to get a Catalyst backend.
I would say around like 5 figures, just total, like actual, make sure your product's a winning product. I wouldn't want to touch anyone's business that's not an established winning product. Make sure you want to scale. Like if you're thinking about scaling, the Catalyst backend system for you. If you're thinking like, hey, this product's like working, is it not working? Maybe let it run for a couple more weeks or a month or two until you actually start wanting to implement that into it. I actually genuinely want to help people. I'm not just here to like take a bunch of people and paying me to implement these systems, and I don't know if it's a winning product because when you make money, I make money. So that's kind of how the Catalyst backend system works. So I want to make sure everyone knows that for first and forward. But any questions on that? Any more questions? No? Okay. Thanks. For sure. YouTube, bro.